Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. So I was on Twitter today and inevitably, I always get these in my timeline because I think the Twitter algorithm just thinks I'm like the personal finance guy. So I get other tweets from other personal finance accounts and they're in my timeline, so I'm reading them and they're always like super like condescending. It's always like, have more month at the end of your money? Maybe you should stop with the Starbucks or the Chipotle. And you're just like, wow, what high level analysis, right? So it's no different than like Dave Ramsey taking a phone call and going, maybe you should have saved some money at the Starbucks, latte breath. Or like Susie Orman or whatever. So I'm probably gonna call this video why 20-cent iced coffee doesn't build wealth. And we're gonna talk about a couple different things here. First, I'm gonna go over the steamroller. So if you don't know what the steamroller is, it's just something I made up. I'm gonna talk about the steamroller, and then I'm gonna talk about the numbers. So make sure you stay till the end and watch the numbers. This video will make a lot more sense. When I post this kind of stuff on social media like Instagram or Twitter, people, they just don't get it. They really think like making coffee at home and like eating a burrito at home is gonna build wealth over time. Spoiler alert, it's not. These things do not move the needle. And there's some nuance there, which I'm gonna get into in this video. Okay, so this is the steamroller, and pay attention here. So when I see these tweets talking about, you know, it's the $8 Chipotle, it's the $3 coffee, that's so far from the truth. Or the 20-cent iced coffee, that does not build wealth. And pay attention here. This is the steamroller. In the macro picture, the big picture of things, you're picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. So when you're making coffee at home and saving $2.80 by making coffee at home, you're picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. When you're eating $8 or when you're eating a burrito at home that costs you $3, $4 to make, when you can go get it at Chipotle for $8 to save $4, you're picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. So pay attention. So wages have been flat, inflation adjusted, since the 1970s. That's right, 50 years, wages have essentially been the same. The cost of college is up 1,200% since 1980, while the rate of inflation is 236% at the same time period, okay? Housing is up 811.7%, 1967 versus 2021, okay? The cost of rent increases have been an average of 8.86% per year, okay? So if you think about it, not counting what just happened this past year, when was the last time you got an 8.8% raise year over year, okay? Some of you may, a lot of you probably don't. And then finally, if you look at healthcare went from $147 per person in 1960 to $11,172 in 2018, okay? So this is the steamroller, people. The lower and middle income or the lower and middle socioeconomic classes, they cannot bear and they cannot beat the steamroller even if they start doing the, 20-cent coffee, making burritos at home, whatever you wanna call it. So all these condescending tweets and all these comments and all these like marketing terms like 20-cent coffee, they don't build wealth. They don't move the needle. They don't do anything in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna show you that here in a little bit. Real quick though, the only reason I use 20-cent coffee is because everyone knows what this means. I'm not knocking Graham Stephan. I know Graham. I met him a couple years ago at FinCon. He's a good dude. But the gist of it is that everyone's familiar with what this term is. So let's run through some numbers here and let's figure out what 20-cent iced coffee really does and how much wealth it really builds over time. Okay, so at the time of this recording, a latte at Starbucks is $2.95. For easy numbers, let's just call it $3, okay? And if you wanna look at my tweets or my Twitter, I've been talking about this for at least a year now, maybe even longer. $3 coffee, skipping these coffees is not gonna build wealth. Listen to this. So if we assume that this 20-cent iced coffee actually costs 20 cents to make, okay? That's not accounting for some stuff that's more expensive, milk, whatever, all that stuff. Let's pretend like we're saving $2.80 per cup, okay? Our cup costs $3 at Starbucks, this cup costs 20 cents. Say you're a psychopath and you need to have coffee every single day. Let's just say work week, Monday through Friday. So that's 5 days out of the week, right? So 2.8 times 5 is 14. Let's just say you have it every week, 52 weeks in a year, okay? So 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, week in and week out. And let's just say that you're gonna give this up for 30 years. 30 years of your life, you're gonna give up a small pleasure just to build wealth. All right, let's see what this does. So this number is whatever it is, times 30. All you need to know is that the final number, all these numbers added up, is $21,840. That's saving $2.80 a cup, 5 days a week, every week a year for 30 years. $21,840. Got it? Good. Now, I put this into a calculator. If you invested $14 a week, this right here, after 30 years at 8% compounding, because that's another thing that all the personal finance people say, if you skip one burrito a week for 743 years, you'll be a multimillionaire. Well, okay, let's figure out that number. Nominally, yes, the number will be in the millions, absolutely. And I've done this in the past with my videos, but pay attention. So $14 a week, 30 years at 8%, that will turn into what? $68,612. So you gave up a small pleasure, let's just say coffee, you're saving $2.80, you're making it at home, whatever, to make $68,612 after 30 years of compounding at 8%, okay? Great, excuse me. However, what people aren't talking about in any of these examples, it's super cliche at this point, is inflation. Okay, no one talks about inflation. What is this money gonna buy you in 30 years? What is $68,612 gonna buy you in 30 years? So let's do this number with 7% inflation. This number, at 7% inflation, do you know what the purchasing power of $68,000 is? $9,013. Congratulations, you gave up 30 years of making coffee or getting coffee at Starbucks, relaxing, going to a business meeting, networking, potentially increasing your lifestyle by networking, and you saved $9,000. Congratulations. Now, everyone knows that this year CPI is 7%, that's BS. We all know that CPI is multiple double digits. It's just that they aren't reporting on it, okay? Gas is up almost 50%, used cars are up 37%. There's a million things that are up multiple double digits, but they adjust the numbers to make it look like it's lower than it really is. So let's just pretend we're at 10%. So this is 7% inflation, this one's 10% inflation. This is what saving or making coffee at home does for you with 10% inflation over 30 years. You made a whopping $3,932. Do you see how important this is now? Why I've been talking about savers or losers, buy income producing assets that keep up with inflation, that also throw off money, real estate, stocks, dividend stocks, et cetera, et cetera. Every time I make one of these posts on social media, like making fun of the 20-cent coffee or the $3 coffee or the coupon clippers or whatever, people don't get it. Like they get angry because they really think like, dude, if I just eat one more PB&J sandwich at work, I'm gonna become a millionaire. I'm gonna get my Ferrari in 30 years. Like, no, you're not, dude. It's not moving the needle. And I'm not trying to come off as condescending, but you need to see the numbers, okay? So now what the more sophisticated viewers are gonna say, hey, Marco, 7% is a ridiculous rate of inflation. 10% is a ridiculous rate of inflation. Okay, let's do something like the average. Let's call it 2.9 because CPI is never really 2. It's always a lot higher. I'll be generous. I'll do 2.9% inflation. So after 30 years of making your coffee at home, okay? It's the small things that count, guys, right? No, it's not. Spoiler alert. It's the big things that count, which I'm gonna get to here in a second. You made $29,103. So for 30 years, sacrificing a small pleasure of maybe going to Starbucks, taking a break, doing whatever. And I don't even like Starbucks. I don't even drink coffee, dude. I drink Turkish coffee. That'll put hair on your chest, okay? I got proof if you wanna see. But anyway, my point is that after 30 years of doing the little things, your purchasing power is $29,103. So congratulations, you bought an entry-level Honda Accord by giving up a small pleasure for 30 years, okay? That's what your gain is. Now, let's talk about what you actually should do and should focus on and why 20-cent iced coffee and doing these little things really don't build wealth. Okay, so what is the opposite of eating the burrito at home and making the coffee at home? Okay, if these things, hey Marco, we saw the numbers, they clearly don't build wealth over time, what are some things that do? Well, you're welcome. This is why my channel exists. So your number one goal should be, once you start building wealth, is to preserve purchasing power. Preserve your PP, okay? Guys, preserve your PP. The reason you wanna do this, like let's take real estate for example. If you look at my previous video, how to profit from inflation or the middle class wealth traps, real estate has grown the most amount of wealth over time. This is proven, okay? Stocks, real estate, dividend stocks. The reason for this is because real estate typically keeps up with the rate of inflation. So no matter what those steamrollers are that we saw with, healthcare, this, that, blah, 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 all those things, at least real estate is gonna give you a fighting chance because not only is it keeping up with inflation, it's also throwing off income. These are income producing assets. So that leads me to my next point. Create multiple income streams, okay? I'm not trying to turn this into one of those like fake guru, charlatan. Oh, don't even get me started about charlatans, dude. There's a lot of those in the finance space and they're starting to really show their true colors. But anyway, my point is, create multiple streams of income. The more streams of income you have, whether it's dividend income, rental income, side hustle income from a side business that you start, these are the ways that you start outpacing that steamroller and getting ahead. If you're gonna be in the middle class hamster wheel, the W-2 rat race, where your wage is just staying stagnant since the 70s, just keeping up with inflation, you're not gonna get anywhere, period. That's the hard truth, that's the hard reality. Which leads me to my next point is think big, okay? Anyone can get a minimum wage job. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone that has a minimum wage job, but it's minimum wage for a reason because the broadest skill set in the marketplace can perform those tasks, right? You're not specialized, you're not special, you're just doing a task that general population can do, right? You need to figure out how to increase your value to the marketplace, whether that's providing value through a YouTube channel where you've been doing videos for free for 4 years, helping people improve their lifestyles, okay? You'll get rewarded for that, okay? I'm proof of that. I never sold anything, never asked you for anything. If you actually start to build a product, if you start to find little niches in the marketplace, and then you'll say, hey, Marco, I'm not an entrepreneur, what can I do? Well, then you educate yourself. You separate yourself with a skill set that other people don't have via education. Oh, you're a nurse making 50, 60 grand in the Midwest? Become a nurse practitioner. You'll make 90, 100, 120. Oh, you're an engineer making 60, 70, 80 grand in the Midwest? Get a master's degree. Maybe you'll become a manager making 120, 150, whatever. I'm just giving you examples. So you need to think big and you need to separate yourselves. If you do what everyone else is doing, you're gonna be like everyone else. Very simple. So the people that downvote these kinds of videos are the people that don't want to do the extra work to get them into a better position, and they just stay resentful and jealous of the people that seem to get ahead. And don't get me wrong, life deals you a lot of crappy cards with health and accidents and things like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about equal scenarios for the most part. So my point is that the people get angry when they hear like, oh, I can't do this, I'm at my job, I'm an immigrant, I don't speak English, I don't do this, I don't that. You just need to start thinking outside the box and doing that little extra. So what I do wanna say is, because I don't wanna sound like very condescending in this video, the analogy that I would give for the people that really are about, the 20-cent iced coffee and the $4 burrito at home and stuff like that, I commend these people because it's small actions like that that lead to the next bigger steps, but you need to think bigger than that. So my analogy is if you're at the fast food place, let's call it like Chick-fil-A or something, I don't know, I'm just making this up, and you're ordering, the Chick-fil-A sandwich deluxe with the bleached bread, the MSG, the GMOs, all that fake stuff, but instead you substituted the wafers for a side salad, right? Well, you're doing the right thing by getting the side salad. That's like making the 20-cent iced coffee at home or making the $4 burrito at home, right? That's great. However, you're still at a fast food restaurant. You're still missing the big picture. You're missing the forest for the trees. Get out of the fast food restaurant and change your entire diet. That's where it comes with thinking big. So I hope this video made sense. I wasn't trying to diss Graham or anything like that, but a lot of personal financial gurus like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, these are just marketing things. These people didn't get rich by making 20-cent coffee. They got rich by selling courses, ad revenue, stuff like that. You know, I make affiliate revenue, I make ad revenue, I get that. Just remember, like these are mostly marketing terms that sound cool, but they don't move the needle. You gotta think big. Thank you, peace. Dude, that's such a sick Ferrari, man. Can I take a picture? Nice, thank you so much. Sir, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? Oh, you just made coffee at home? Nice, dude.